Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video we have another, yes, that is right, another shard event is coming this weekend to Raid Shadow Legends. Now, to be fair, we obviously knew about this one already. It's our regularly scheduled Summon Rush, which was on the calendar for in-game, and we know it's going to be obviously tying in with the Titan event as well. But I don't know, Kraken Week is just insane, right? I feel like, you know, it's like the game director, he went to like the live team managers. It was like, okay, guys, we're gonna have a few shard events this week, and they're like, okay, game director, maybe one, maybe two. He was like, no, more, more events. I'm like, oh, okay, how many points are we gonna have for these events? Like, more, just more. I want so many events, so many points. It's relentless right now. It's crazy. I mean, the great thing is, I'd say this is the most important thing to say to you guys. I think FOMO is the biggest killer here. I mean, I think ultimately, right, the way to look at this, I know it can be, if you're coming in and thinking, I expect to be able to do absolutely everything, free to play, with minimal time investment, like, you have to just accept that's not realistic, right? And there's going to be loads of events in the game, and you just can't do them all. And I think when you go in with that expectation of being like, this event looks too hard or it's too intense, I'm just going to skip it. Grand, cool, no problem. You have a lot more fun, right? So you look at something like that. I've decided with the monster path, I've actually done a good chunk of it, but I think I'm just going to grab the Titan event points and make my life easier. And yeah, I said, you know what? Like, I could have gone for Alatreon, Blade Master, or Alatreon, or whatever it's called. He does look pretty cool. He is sort of unique in that, but I just wasn't really in the mood to grind out champion training super hard. So I said, you know what? Yeah, it's gonna suck to miss him, I guess, but it's fine. Missing loads of champs in the game, it's not a huge deal. I'll survive. I thought he was really good. Like, I tested him out. He was better than I expected, but it's fine, and beating challenges with the account you have, with the champions you do have, that is fun as well. So, I mean, if it was a different day, a different mood, I would have been like, yeah, I'll grind like crazy. Like maybe me a year ago would have done that. But me now, I'm kind of like, I've done a lot of champ training grind. I'm kind of done. Anyway, let's look at, these are the shard events. This is what's coming this weekend. So Friday, the 26th of January. And I'll talk about as well whether it's worth doing this one or doing the follow-up weekend in terms of Titan event, like what I'm going to be skipping in the Titan event, because I'm going to do all of the Monster Path Titan points, which is a decent chunk. What am I going to use those extra points, as it were, to skip, because I'm going to get them all. There's going to be a 2x for epics and legendaries from Primal shards. Now, in my opinion, I would skip that, right? In my opinion, I would really be waiting for... There's no like, you get so few Primal shards. I think you really, really want to wait for... They've done it only once, but a 2x epic, legendaries, and mythicals from Primals. That is what you're going for. I think sort of worst case scenario, I would go for the 2x mythicals from Primals. But the way I see it is, look, you get very few Primal shards. It's not likely to make a massive difference for any sort of summoning event. I mean, maybe you could pull them if it's going to make the difference for completing like a fusion or something, But the way I see it is there's no harm in hanging on for months if needs be. Wait for a 2x epic, legendaries, and mythicals. Get the best bang for your buck from what are an extremely, extremely limited shard type right now. So I would be skipping that. Don't like it. Also, we're planning to launch progressive champs, so 15x from all the different shard types. We've got some real good champs in here. So first of all, Harima, this is big tick. This is the big win. Harima is absolutely insane. The best defensive nuker in the game? Yeah, the best defensive nuker in the game. She's got to be by quite a landslide even. And there's other good ones like Staltus and Ragash are really good, those sorts of champs. But Harima is just crazy. So strong. Her passive is busted. She'd definitely be one of my most wanted champions. So I'll tell you right now, I'll probably do this event just to get the minimum for the Titan points or whatever. Maybe a book or two. We'll see how the points line up. I'd probably go for the Harima. Yeah, I think so. Or maybe I'll skip this event. Actually, maybe I'll skip this event. But she's extremely good. Like 3-turn cooldown AoE with Provoke. Triple hit, which permanently decreases defense and increases her defense. And activates her AoE for free if she kills someone. The passive is just nuts. Enemy ignore defense effects decreased by 50%, which is super, super powerful. Then She's really good against Demon Spawn. In particular, this lets her crit Duchess. Like, it just removes the affinity penalty from Duchess in particular. Harima's top tier Arena, top tier for Hydra. We saw like a crazy Harima build in the Alatreon showcase, actually, funny enough. Harima coming in as a defensive nuker for Hydra is absolutely nuts. Like, it's a little bit sad, I think, that as the game has gone on, like, the best champs for Hydra, obviously we've got the Trunda thing, but like Harima and Taris are super OP in Arena. They're also super OP in Hydra. Like, it's a little bit boring to see the exact same champs always, but hey, it is what it is. She's nuts. That's well worth going for. Martyr's okay. Martyr's decent, right? Counter attack. She's a solid champ. Nice to have, but I don't know if I'd rush out to get her. Like, it opens up some fun teams. It's cool, but I feel like Martyr is more of a champ that you will pull a counterattack, either Martyr or Valkyrie eventually, one of the really strong ones, and then you can have fun building some counterattack teams when you get them, but I don't feel like it's something you need to chase. Molly Tankard, actually really good, was probably formerly the top provoker in Hydra. The Archer is now better. The Monster Hunter Archer is better than Molly as a provoke champion, but Molly's still really good. She gives you a lot of turn meter boost. Got the 2-turn potentially provoke on a short cooldown. She can mischief tank a bit. She brings a revive. She's fantastic, right? She's a really good champion. I think the Archer is better because she brings you more consistent provokes, possibly. I mean, affinity may be an issue, but most rotations, the Archer is going to bring you better provoking than Molly. A lot more damage, decreased speed. I think as much turn meter boosting, just about. Similar enough, and lots of healing as well, and Hex. So I think the Archer's a bit better. But Molly's great. I don't have her. She's actually fantastic, though. Really, really good champ. Rafmatab, I'd probably skip that. I'd say no to Rafmatab. Bivald, again, he's a previous fusion. Solid champion, but again, I wouldn't be going for him here. Armbrago, similarly, previous fusion. Solid champion, but I wouldn't go for him. So for me, it'd be between those three. Very much strongly Harima. Molly, worth a look in. And then, you know, maybe a Martyr. But yeah, I feel like 99.99% of people should really be going for Harima if you are going to be doing this event. All right. From the Voids, we should touch on those. Krisk and Grisor are both very strong. Very strong. Krisk is great. Grisor, I actually think Grisor may be slightly better. Honestly, I do. Krisk is obviously amazing. He's great. Really a PvE king, right? Really, really good for Hydra, really good for Doom Tower, Cursed City, all that sort of stuff. He's a brilliant carry in all those areas. I think Grisor is also a brilliant carry in the exact same areas. Hydra, Cursed City, Doom Tower. I think he might be a bit better than Krisk. So instead of bringing you like mischief tank for Hydra like Krisk does, he gives you increased resistance, which is also generally useful. He's got the 3-turn AoE provoke like Krisk has. He brings increased defense for your team. He also has the buff extension like Krisk has, but it's an enemy max HP nuke, which is very strong. He brings you some protection. So yeah, I guess he brings a little less protection for your team. Krisk does bring some speed stuff and some debuffs, but I think they're similar quality champions. And yeah, like, it's tricky for me because I have a Krisk and I'm obviously attached to him. It's hard to be objective. If I had both, or if I was missing both, it'd be easier to say. But yeah, I think they're both totally viable to go for. Like, if you're close to Mercy, you know, they're both reasonable pickups. And again, personally, I would vote for Grisor as the thing that would be a little bit stronger. He just does so much damage. Right, he does so much damage in Hydra. Like, you'll see Krisk do good damage. That's entirely from the Cursed set, right? Krisk does not do any real damage by himself. Certainly not in the way you're going to build him, but Grisor absolutely will. For epics, just to mention these, Taragi the Frog, Vogoth, Burgoth. Well, Burgoth is obviously the odd one out as being absolutely crap. Vogoth and Taragi are both brilliant. Both very good picks. I'd probably go for maybe Taragi first, but Vogoth is super good as well. Then Frenzy and Prundar from the Voids. I don't think either one is particularly strong. I'd say maybe Frenzy for Cursed City could be okay. I think I just picked her up in the last like pull event. I think I pulled her. I'm pretty sure. But like, she's got some burns that can place burns and activate them, and she's got AoE provoke. So I think she's worth it for the Cursed City. But I'd say that's about it, right? I would not be really looking at Frenzy almost anywhere else, I would say. And there you go. 72 hours. This is up for, so the whole weekend. Simple enough. If we bring up Plarium Play, go into the events tab, and again, we can see the different events that are coming in, right, which is pretty cool. See, the Summon Rush event, it's going to have, like I said, you got your tomes in there. You also have your lunar points in there. So that becomes something that's worth considering, right? If you are going for the Titan event, which the Titan event, it's quite intensive. So I think, again, we go back to what I said at the start of the video. You know, maybe this is for you, but maybe it's not. Like, there's decent rewards in here. It's cool to go for, but if it's too intensive, just skip it, right? But bearing in mind, you can skip 250 points total. There are 280 points in the hero's path, right? So I'm actually grabbing all of them. I'm going to be grabbing all of them. I've pretty much decided. I haven't locked it in quite yet. There's no needs to quite yet. Like, in case I somehow completely change my mind and go for Alatreon. But now I'm pretty much almost entirely dedicated now to just grabbing these points. And that frees me up to skip other events. But, like, let's say you went for Alatreon. Like, there's 100, 140. Like, that's 240 points you will have skipped. You're not leaving yourself much up. If you went for just the two easy ones, 40 and 40, 80, you've skipped 200. So again, you can skip 50, but that's it. You're really, really limiting yourself. So yeah, that's why I've decided I'm going to grab all these points from the monster path. I'm not going to have skipped anything, so I'll still have 250 points available to skip. And I'd be expecting a pretty high amount of points in this Summon Rush. That is what I would expect. Summon Rush, I think it's going to have a pretty high amount of points. So, I mean, we'll see. So you might need to do it to get the lunar points if you really want that 5-star soul. If you're not committed to it, then it's obviously much easier. But yeah, we'll see exactly what the points end up being, but it could be fairly intensive. So that's something to watch out for, I would say, for sure. And I would expect, because we know that there's a lot of points in week 2 as well. We got points obviously going through Ice Golem. There's points in the champion training tournament, which is also part of why I said, yeah, you know what? I think we'll, I think I'm not going to go crazy champ training for Alatreon. If I'm going to have to just go, or Alatreon, and I'm going to have to go and do even more champion training for those points the next time. Artifact Enhancement's going to have points. I would say there's going to be a champion chase. Obviously not this weekend is Summon Rush, but the following weekend, the champion chase, and there's a decent chance the next fusion won't have started by then. So you have a champion chase outside of a fusion, and it's fairly likely that that is going to require a good chunk of points to get, again, your Titan event points. So that's something to watch out for as well. I say there's a pretty decent chance as well. It could be for Sacreds. We were due to have 2x Sacreds last weekend, but we had 2x Voids with Fatalis Blade Master event in there instead. So that sort of replaced the normal cadence, the Fatalis Blade Master. So I'd expect 2x Sacred. So that becomes very, very, very intensive. All right. If you're going to be going for the progressive chance this weekend, obviously the temptation is pulling your Sacreds. And there's also progressive chance on right now, which is really, really big. And then if you have to do 2x Sacreds after that, and then you're going straight into a fusion after that with a Summon Rush. And that fusion would probably be 2x Voids as well for the fusion, possibly 2x Ancients. Who knows? And there's always the possibility they switch this stuff up. But like for me, you're getting to the point where you're getting really stretched thin on shards. Unless you're buying lots of shards, like there's just kind of no way. So yeah, now I'm thinking about it. What I'm going to do, probably most likely, I think I will probably try to skip the Summon Rush this weekend. I know they're amazing champions, like Harima is crazy good. But I'm leaning towards maybe skipping this one, saving shards. I've got lots of fragments ready to go. Like we've got Gwendolyn, we've got Xenogray herself. I've got tons of champions in here. I might actually finally pull those because they're just waiting. Might finally pull them for the Champion Chase tournament for the Titan event and try to do it mostly with shards I already have, with fragments, and save all my shards for the next fusion and for further events. Maybe that's something I'll do. We'll have to see, but yeah, it's becoming difficult right now because like I said, there's so many events in the game. They really are mixing up what shard events are happening as well. Like it used to be a very, very consistent cadence, like for years. Sacred 2x, Summon Rush. Void 2x, Summon Rush. Ancient 2x, Summon Rush. Back to the top. Same thing over and over again. It's much more mixed up now. We've got summoning events midweek all over the place. The 2x events are really inconsistent with what they're going to be. Makes it hard to predict. So yeah, my goal right now, it looks like I'm going to be opting in for the, minimum. Do the minimal events, save stuff so I can play the game comfortably and be more relaxed. And not being too bothered by FOMO, really, is sort of the goal. So there you go, guys. Let me know though, what do you think about this event? Like, I could easily see people say, "Nope, I'm a totally different boat from you. Harima is absolutely insane," or Chris Grisor is insane. I want to pull for them. Certainly, if you're close to Mercy, I think there's no harm in cracking a few shards for Mercy for 15x Harima, Chris Grisor. That is absolutely acceptable in my mind. But yeah, you do you. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.